Okay, so if you're watching this video, that means you are a part of the Paybit Club system right now. So congratulations for stepping into the next level of payment processing for the future. So what you're looking at right now is when you get logged in, this is the screen that you're going to see, and this is how you're going to accept transactions in Bitcoin in your store. It's very simple, very easy to use. But before I go over any of this, the first thing that you're going to want to do as soon as you log in for the first time is change and update your information within the system. So to do that, you're going to go ahead and click on this button up here, and it's going to bring you to edit your profile. Now, as long as you filled out the Google form properly, most of this should be correct. However, all the information can be changed if any of it was entered incorrectly. So you have your first name, your last name, your email, country. Username is the only thing that cannot change, but you can change the password and things like that, the important stuff. You'll have your Bitcoin wallet. If you don't know how Bitcoin works, if you don't know how to get a Bitcoin wallet or anything like that, I will be covering that later in the video, so do not worry. I'll touch on that a little bit later. Your currency, again, United States dollars is what most of you guys are going to be using, but if you're in other countries, you can use those other countries' currencies. Some of them are not compatible, so if they're not compatible, I would recommend just going back to USD if you're in a foreign country that uses completely different currency. Your Bitcoin purchase percentage, we'll go over that in a little bit. That's not going to apply to most of the beginner level users here. Your telephone number, and again, this default leg doesn't really matter too much either, so you can kind of just leave that blank as well. If you want to upload an image of your business, that's going to be right there. And this will be helpful if you want other people within the Paybit Club system to find your business. And perhaps, if they're looking it up online, they'll know that your store accepts Bitcoin. So make sure that you fill this out correctly, where your business is located and all of that. Now down here is one of the things that you want to make sure that you, write down properly, and this is the max amount that you want to accept per transaction of Bitcoin. So if you, let's just say if you want to accept $1,000 in Bitcoin maximum, you can set that max to be $1,000 and it will reject anything higher than that. So you can go ahead and check that box. If you don't have a maximum and people can spend as much Bitcoin as they want in your store, you can go ahead and leave that blank, but make sure that this box is checked if you're accepting Bitcoin. And again, this is probably for the advanced users. I would recommend that you uncheck this box for buying Bitcoin, and unless you are an advanced user and you're ready to take in Bitcoin, that's fine as well. And you can put the max amount in there, your locale, whether it's English, Spanish, German, etc. And once you're ready to do all of that, make sure that you change your password. So your password is going to be right here, so you can write down your password and change your password. And your token right here is going to, this token is required for you to type in order for all of this information to change. Now, to change your token, you need to click on request token, and it's going to send to the email that I put on the system when you originally signed up. Whatever email you put in the Google form, it's going to send it over to there. And then by typing that token and updating, all that information will change to your own secure information. But make sure that you change that password. It's always good use to do that, even though I'm not going to log into it myself. It's always good practice to change that password. So we will get to the Bitcoin wallet a little bit later, but the next thing I want to show you is the merchant section, which is going to look like this. Now, when you're ready to do a sell in Bitcoin, so if somebody's bringing up items, you're ringing up all the items, and it comes out to something like $125. Couple of things you want to take note of right here. First of all, you might want to have a calculator out on the side, or do the calculations in your head to figure out how much you actually want to charge them, because 2% of the transactions here in Paybit Club goes back to Paybit Club. So do keep that in mind. You don't want to lose 2% on all of your sales, so you might want to upcharge 2% on all Bitcoin sales, or maybe even higher if you feel like earning a couple extra dollars from Bitcoin sales. But we're just going to go ahead and say $125. That's going to net about 120, somewhere like $122 ish, that I'm actually going to receive, and then a few of those dollars is going to go to Paybit Club. So I type in that number right there, make sure that I'm on merchant sale, I'm selling a product. If I'm buying Bitcoin, I can go ahead and swing this bar over to the other side, but I'm doing a sale. And we go ahead and click on the convert button, which is going to bring up this number. You can check that if you want, but generally the number is going to be correct. It's connected to the blockchain, and it's going to be the right number in terms of US dollars. And then also we can hit the process button. Once you hit that process button, your customers should know what to do at this point. It's going to generate a QR code, and try to make sure that they scan this QR code, because if they don't scan the QR code and they send the wrong number, it's going to pose some problems later on. So make sure that they're using their phone or whatever the device that they have their Bitcoin on, they scan that QR code and they send exactly that amount over there. If you have any issues, if you typed in the wrong number, feel free to just go ahead and click on the reset button and everything will reset and you can do it all over again. So once those transactions are confirmed, I can go over to the transactions right here. You can see that that $125 purchase was complete. Now it's going to take about maybe 30 seconds. So if you want to, move your customer off to the side, if 30 seconds is way too long for you, that's going to be totally fine. But it's not going to take 30 minutes to transact and to send through like Bitcoin normally does, because that's kind of the service that Paybit Club offers. Again, it's going to allow those transactions to occur very quickly and very safely, so that you can be sure that you get the money that you deserve on the purchase. So everything should be tip top and ready to go from there. You can have the transaction ID right there and everything works from then on out. So that is the most basic method for how to use the Paybit Club system. Again, it can get a little more complicated if you're looking for more of the advanced features. If you're going to be selling Bitcoin or buying Bitcoin, all that stuff is available in here, but we can cover that in another video. The next thing that I want to make sure that I cover for you guys, because we talked about this over here, I said that you guys want to make sure that you have your Bitcoin wallet address in here. Otherwise, when people are buying from you, that Bitcoin's going to go to some other wallet. So make sure it's going to your personal wallet or your company wallet. So to get a company wallet, if you've never used Bitcoin before, there are two wallets that I recommend that you try just for the most user-friendly wallets out there. That's not going to be too confusing to you. One of them is going to be the Exodus wallet. So this wallet is available for mobile devices, for Macs, for desktops, Windows, everything like that. And it's very simple to use. You get your Bitcoin in, you can get your Bitcoin out very easily, and you can get your wallets from here. And another wallet that I'm going to recommend is the blockchain wallet. This is another one that's very popular and very user-friendly and easy to use. Now, I'm not going to do a tutorial on how to get those wallets or download those wallets, but what I will do is I'll put in the description below a link to another tutorial talking about those wallets and how to safely get yourself a Bitcoin wallet and how to put your address in the system so that you can start receiving your Bitcoin right away. But as soon as you do that, when you have your Bitcoin wallet set up and everything else is okay and ready to go in the user details, then you can start using the system right away. And as far as any more advanced questions or details that you might have, what they have down here is a ticket system. So by asking your question in the ticket system, they get back to you really quickly. You can link your API to the machine that you're using at your store if you want to. Again, that's getting into more advanced features, but you guys can definitely solve your problems or your questions that you have by going to this new ticket feature. But then you're ready to go from then on out. You have your receipts over here to take a look at all times. And the last thing that I'll kind of just reiterate here is make sure that you guys understand that there is a 2% charge on everything that goes back to Paybit Club. So make sure that if you're looking to get the exact amount, charge at least a 2% upcharge on all of your Bitcoin sales. Personally, if I were to do a sale, I would do maybe 4 or 5% because the price of Bitcoin can move up and down over time. And finally, I'll end with this. When you're getting Bitcoin, do keep in mind, if this is the first time you've ever seen Bitcoin before, the price of Bitcoin changes on a daily basis. It can go up 10%, down 10%, up 3%, down 3%, that kind of thing, or it can stay the same the next day. So another thing that you guys might want to do is at the end of the day, or maybe after every purchase, you're going to want to convert your Bitcoin over to US dollars. So there's a lot of ways to do that. I will leave a tutorial for converting Bitcoin to US dollars as well for you guys if you don't want to deal with the volatility or the price change in Bitcoin and you just want to kind of capture the market instead of holding the Bitcoin. That's definitely an option as well. Okay, so hopefully that tutorial was helpful, and I will be making some more. If you guys have any questions, I will be happy to do tutorials and help you guys out.